Hello, gorgeous and divine soul friends. Welcome back to my channel, Madame DeVaux. My name is Hannah, and thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of your experience today. This is your Who is Your Spirit Guide Pick a Card reading. We're going to be talking about who your spirit guide is and what messages they have for you today. So if you want to pick between groups 1, 2, or 3 with the crystal ball, the bell, and the Himalayan salt, take a moment to pause here, try to use your intuition, and try not to pick based on what object you like the most. Whenever you finish picking, you can go ahead and click the timestamp below, and it'll take you right to your reading. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, group 1, this is your first set of cards. First set of cards that I have for you is Queen of Fire and Four of Fire. Beautiful. Second set is from my Chakra Oracle deck. You have Balance and Perfection. Third group is from my Deviant Moon deck, Knight of Pentacles and Strength. And then last we have the original with the Four of Cups, the Knight of Cups, and the Sun card. So what I'm sensing here, immediately off the bat, I feel like some of you have a spiritual guide or a spiritual teacher who you have either been married to in a past life, or you had a relationship, a romantic connection with this person in a past life, or this person has passed on and they're guiding you from the other side. So another thing that I'm hearing is you can't hide. You're very transparent to this guide. They can see right through you, right? They've been guiding you since you were a child. So this might be like a principal guide for a lot of you. You know, this is something that it runs back a very long time, is something that I'm hearing. You know, they even see deep into the ugly parts. And you know, we all have those parts within us, so don't be ashamed. I feel like sometimes they try to offer you advice, and group 1, you reject it. You know, you don't really take it in. You know, maybe sometimes you're looking at certain options, certain routes, certain paths to take, you're contemplating, and your guide comes through and says, hey, here, I have this great idea. Just listen. And I feel like some of you guys are so wrapped up in whatever it is that you're already thinking about, and it's so different. This idea is so different from these ideas that you're already thinking about that you're just like, no. But your guide ultimately knows what's best for you. Your intuition knows what's best for you. It speaks to you in the form of intuition. I also feel like this guide offers you a lot of self-confidence. Like, it gives you reassurance, it gives you self-assurance. Some of you may feel like a warm patch of air around you. I don't know, like maybe you feel something brush on your shoulder. It is this guide. This guide speaks to you in the form of sensation. Very warm sensations is something that I'm picking up. But I do pick up that you were possibly married to this person in a past life, if not this life, and they've just passed over. I feel like this guide helps you a lot with your home life. They help you a lot with your home in general. They may have helped you find a home, is something that I'm hearing. But you're very much, I feel like some of you have even tried to get rid of this guide. That's something that I'm hearing too. Like, some of you have asked it to go away, or some of you have asked it to, you know, cut cords or something. But this was a contract you made, friends. You can't get rid of this guide. You made this contract before you were born. This is above you. This is above your ego. This is above your conscious mind. Because the ego and the conscious mind is the one that wants to cut the connection. But no, they're still around. They're still very much around. Now remember, this is a very general reading, so this will not resonate with every single one of you. You know, not all of these messages are for you. There's plenty of other people watching this video, so do be mindful of that. I'm also hearing that some of you guys are big-time perfectionists, and that may have stunted on the way you feel about yourself. But like I said, I do feel like this guide comes through and gives you that reassurance. Hey, there's no such thing as perfect. Perfect is a perspective. I feel like some of you are very much perfectionists in love and in work. That's something that I'm hearing. And this guide comes around and offers you advice about how to be confident without being a perfectionist. I'm also hearing that the pieces of advice that this guide gives you guys are just very good pieces of advice. It's like, in a barren land, this guide bears the fruit. In a barren land, this guide bears the fruit. So in a world of shitty advice, in a world of deception, this guide gives you truth, and it gives you very good advice for your life. I don't know why, but I'm just getting a general sense of like turning away from this guide, not wanting to listen to what they have to say. Some of you are very connected, and you very well know that you have a spirit guide talking to you, but some of you don't want to accept it. Now, why is that? Is it fear of rejection, fear of ridicule? Because I'm not picking up that this is a mean guide. Like, they don't hurt you in any way. They don't say ugly things. They're very compassionate. They just want to see you do well. They just want to see you happy. But why don't you want to accept this? I feel like some of you were very much focused on having a quote-unquote normal life, even though there's no such thing as normal. You know, the white picket fence, the kids, the dog, the cat, maybe, for you cat people out there. You know, and then the perfect job, right? Like, that's what makes you feel confident. Some of you are earth signs, and you just drool over this idea of the white picket fence, normal life. That's like, some of you are very much connected to source. I feel like some of you have had some weird experiences. I feel like some of you fight demons. That's something that I'm hearing. Like, some of you maybe astral project, or you see a lot of demonic energies in your life, and you have to fight them. And I feel like some of you guys just want a normal life. Like, you just wish you could not experience any of this, if that makes sense. So any spiritual thing that comes to you, any spiritual advice, any spiritual entity that comes to you, you kind of just brush it off. You're like, no, that's just my imagination. It's in that effort to keep that sense of normalcy. Because I think you're afraid, group one. I think some of you are afraid of rejection, of ridicule from people. I feel like maybe you have a lot of friends or coworkers who are not very spiritual, or who don't understand. I think a lot of you feel very misunderstood. So I think some of you guys are really pushing these spiritual ideas out because you don't want to continue to feel misunderstood. I feel like some of you just want, like I said, you just want that contentment, that happy home life, that normalcy, but there's no such thing as normal, group one. Normal it's a perspective, much like perfection. I think this guide is also teaching you balance. I think that's why the Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups are here. That's like the two opposing ends, right? Some of you may have Libra placements. Some of you may tend to, stream from one extreme to the other, going back and forth. And I think this guide is teaching you to, hey, stay balanced. Try not to go to one end or the other. And I feel like, group one, you're so rooted in this way of life, in this ideology of extremes. Some of you might have Scorpio in your chart. That whenever the guide gives you that gut feeling, hey, maybe I should balance myself out. Maybe I shouldn't go and eat that last piece of cake, even though I've already had 3 slices of cake, or whatever, right? Like, there's so many different examples. You know, I feel like some of you guys you're trying so hard to be rooted into the physical that you just don't want to listen. But guys, some of you really have an issue with balance. That's big time what I'm picking up. I'm hearing with food, like with your food consumption. Some of you guys are overeating, or you're not eating enough, or you tend to go between, like sometimes you'll overeat, and maybe sometimes you don't eat enough. I don't know why, but I heard binge eating. Some of you might be like binge eating, or some of you guys just might have an eating disorder. Something that I'm hearing. In that need to be perfect, right? Some of you guys are very much perfect the way that you are. Your body is perfect. Some of you guys work out. You're like trying to be like a bodybuilder. But you need food in order to grow that muscle. The body is a machine. It needs good food to work and to function. Some of you guys have this really warped idea of perfection. You know, and there's no such thing as perfect, guys. You're beautiful the way that you are. You may want to incorporate affirmations into your life. Facing that demon within you, because some of you do have an inner demon. Like if some of you have an eating disorder, that's the demon that you need to face. You know, I honestly don't really appreciate when religious texts or videos or anything, when teachers, spiritual teachers, try to put this idea out there that demons are something separate from us. Because that ideology is just sinking to their level. That idea of separation and duality, that's a demonic ideology. Very low vibrational ideology. Demons are just one with us. They're just what's the word, like a reflection of the things that we fear, of the things that we don't like about ourselves. So demon isn't something to be feared. If you are seeing shadow people, if you're seeing demons, quote unquote, it's because these are like reflections or representations of aspects of self that you have not dealt with, group one. So instead of running away, instead of rejecting these ideas, or instead of rejecting these things, passing them off as imagination, accept them with love. That is the best way to fight a demon, group one. As someone who has experienced it myself, you can only show these beings love, because ultimately they are an expression of you. We're all reflections of one, of the infinite. We're all expressions of one another. And I think some of you guys are rejecting this. You know, there's things about everybody that, you know, we don't like about ourselves. We all have that inner demon within us that we're all conquering. Whether it's an eating disorder, whether it's depression, whether it's suicidal thoughts, whether it's balance, whatever, right? Whether it's grief, anger, any kind of negativity, any kind of low vibrational emotion or aspect of self, that is the demon. And if you let it fester for too long, it will start to manifest and appear to you, saying, hey, conquer me, or I will conquer you. And I think the whole time this is what your spirit guide has been trying to tell you. It's been trying to convey this to you. A lot of you guys, your inner demon has to do with the way you view yourself, with your confidence. I feel like a lot of you guys are rejecting yourselves. You're rejecting a healthy lifestyle, some of you. Some of you work way too much. And some of you even reject eating. You forget to eat, or you don't work out because you work too much. Find time. Make the time. Don't use the excuse, oh, I don't have the time. You gotta make the time. You know? But some of you are absolutely beautiful. Beautiful people. You're amazing to be around. Some of you just have this absolutely magnetic personality, and you just naturally attract people to you. There's people, it's amazing because some people actually legit think you're perfect. There's people here, group 1, that think you're perfect, and you don't see it. And you know why, group 1? I think it's because you've been so focused on the people who haven't seen the beauty in you. And you know what? Not everybody's gonna like us, and that's okay. You know, that car horn just confirms what I was saying. You know, not everybody's gonna like us, and I feel like some of you guys put too much weight on those opinions. Another confirmation. So take a moment, you know, look in the mirror and tell yourself, I am beautiful. I am perfect the way that I am. And yes, it's okay to work on yourself. It's okay to want to be the best version of you, but not to a point where you're bagging on yourself, where you're rejecting healthy aspects of life in order to attain a certain look or in order to attain a certain way of being. But that's what I see here, group 1. Feel free to comment. Let me know what resonated with you. And I will see you later. Thank you so much for your time and take care. Bye-bye, group 1. All right, group 2, this is your set of cards. My first group of cards is my Angel Oracle deck. I have the King of Air, and the Knight of Water. For my Chakra Oracle deck, I have Rejection, and I have Workaholic. Interesting. For my third group of cards, for my Deviant Moon deck, I have the Chariot and the Knight of Swords. And the last group of cards, I have the Five of Pentacles, the Page of Swords, and the Nine of Wands. So group 2, your spirit guide heavily watches over you. I feel like you have a very straightforward guide. This is not a guide that likes to sugarcoat. This is a guide that tells you exactly as it is, whether you like to hear it or not. I feel like some of you have been in a very rough period with this Five of Pentacles. I feel like some of you have applied for job after job after job, and you've just been getting rejected. Harsh rejections for some of you. And I feel like some of you guys really let these people's words or these people's emails hang over your head. Because some of you have a very strong workaholic attitude, and you're very hardworking is something that I'm picking up. But there's a reason that things happen, group 2. You know, if some of you have applied for job after job after job and you just haven't been getting it, no, it's because it wasn't meant for you. There's something better coming for you. Something more fulfilling, right? I feel like some of you are aggressively looking. You may be even looking at things far away from you that are not in your hometown, or like you're looking to travel for your job. I'm hearing that some of you guys have a spirit guide who was possibly an old relative or just an old friend who passed on. I feel like group 2, you may have a couple of guides here that watch over you strongly. And I do feel like one of them may have been, like a veteran or something like that, or somebody who died at war. Like somebody who was a veteran, they may have gotten wounded. That's something that I'm picking up. Yeah, I'm hearing like cavalry, like this person might have been in the cavalry or something like that. It could have been a relative or a friend or something. This person was a very, very powerful leader, or this guide, this spiritual entity is a very powerful leader. And the reason that they can be so harsh is because of their military background. So this guide may have come into many incarnations as someone in the military. All of these swords, lots of aggression energy. Look at this armor, right? Your guide may appear to you as someone wearing armor. And even if it's not a literal army member or a literal military member, I pick up that your spirit guide has a very strong warrior spirit. Presses on through triumph or through challenges. Has dealt with some serious hardship before. This is a very experienced guide, is something that I'm picking up, especially with this King of Air. Very experienced, very smart, very analytical. This is a guide that you need in your life because maybe you're a very intuitive being, group 2. And you may need that alternative viewpoint, that differing, opposing viewpoint from someone who thinks very logically, who expresses themselves very logically. So you may have a guide who is a man or a masculine energy, because that is what you need in your life right now. You need a masculine energy because maybe you embody more of the feminine, the emotional, the intuitive, right? Some of you guys are very artistic people. That's something that I'm picking up. You like to paint. You maybe like to sculpt. I'm even hearing like stained glass art. Like some of you might do stained glass art. Watercolor, that's another thing I'm hearing. Some of you are poets as well. Like some of you take your anger and you take your sadness and all of your emotion and you put it into your poetry. That's something I'm really hearing. But you need this energy that's opposing, that's different from you. I'm hearing some of you might be public speakers, but you're very new on this path. This is something that you are very new at. Some of you guys need to be a little more confident in this field, something that I'm sensing. But with this 5 of Pentacles right under this rejection card, I feel like a lot of you have been either looking for a job or a relationship. I feel like it's a job. I don't think this is relationship related just because of these pentacles here. I mean, for some of you, it could totally be. But I'm hearing like harsh rejection, like not getting a message back, not getting a call back, not getting an email back. And when you do get an email, it's very harsh, very to the point, very cold, right? Much like the King of Air's energy, very straight to the point. Yeah, sorry, you don't fit our category. Like just very, very, maybe even condescending almost for some of you, right? And some of you, I think your guide is trying to tell you, like, move on from this. Don't let these people's words hang on in your head, hang on in your headspace, because I do feel like you hold on to these people's words a lot, group 2, a lot. And you let it make you cold, and you let it freeze you in a spot where you can't move, right? I think some of you have not been moving forward. Maybe this is what you needed to hear in order to move forward aggressively, right? Continue to aggressively search, group 2. Because I'm telling you, there will be something that finds you. But you're just wounded right now. Some of you guys are very wounded from a situation. Now, this doesn't have to be a job. This can be a relationship as well. You may have been rejected by somebody, ghosted by somebody. Right? And some of you are moving on from this situation, or you're trying to move on. See, your guide is not really like a comforting one, is what I'm picking up, because you're very good at comforting yourself, group 2. You're very good at comforting yourself. You have that kind of motherly energy about you, and even if you're a male, you have this energy to you. You're really good at talking yourself through things. This guide is the one that like kind of hits you with, like slaps you with logic. Hey, you're gonna be fine. So it's not the most comforting guide. It's not the one that, is there. I mean, granted, there are other guides. You know, it looks like here you have a couple. So you may have another guide who comforts you, but this guide that I'm picking up that wants to come through in this reading in particular is not the most comforting. It's not that their purpose in your life is not to comfort you. It's to slap logic into you. It's to push you in a way that pushes your boundaries, gets you out of your comfort zone, gets you out of your shell, so that you can get in a space where you don't take no for an answer. You know what I mean? I think the general message that I'm picking up here, group 2, is don't give up. Don't give up. Keep working. Keep pushing at it. I think some of you may have been artists, right? Some of you are like artists or something. Maybe you've been trying to sell your work, and maybe you just haven't been getting that turnaround or that revenue that you initially expected, right? This is a guide that kind of lights the way for you. Very powerful leader energy, guys. You are dealing with a very powerful guide. Leadership energy here. I mean, just look, so much aggression too is something that I'm picking up. I really do pick up a very strong like warrior spirit, because I mean, look at all these angry eyes, you know. The King of Air as well, you know, just very harsh. It can come off harsh, like the energy, the messages, but they're not trying to be harsh with you. They're just trying to be logical and rational with you. Hey, look, I know you want to lay down in your bed, and I know you want to mope and be sad and be depressed, but you have to get up and work. You know, you have to continue to press on, because you're not going to get anywhere just wasting away like that. You know, it's kind of that energy. That's kind of the way that they may speak to you in your head, or that may be the messages that you physically hear from them. Some of you are clairaudient. Or some of you write down the messages. Some of you channel messages and you write them down onto paper. But this guide is very communicative, guys. It doesn't waste any time. I have the Page, the Knight, and the King of Air. The Air is, you know, the voice, the words, what we use to speak, right? So the Page, the Knight, and the King, this is a guide that possibly has been with you since you were very young. And it's seen some harsh parts of your life. Some of you have had very hard lives, is something that I'm sensing. And that's kind of why you needed this guide in your life. This very hard, cold energy, because it's the one that gets you to press on amongst all the ugly and the harsh and the cold. Because it's seen it all. It's seen the ugly, it's seen the bad, it's seen the battlefield, right? But this guy does love you. Like, this is coming from a space of love and compassion, but that's just how this particular energy expresses that compassion. We all have different ways of expressing our love. This particular energy has a very hard and straight to the point way of expressing that love and compassion. By saying, hey, get up, don't waste away. You're not gonna die today, you're fine. You know, yes, it sucks, but you know, you gotta keep going. You know, you gotta keep working, you gotta keep moving. You know, you can't stay stagnant. And I'm hearing this is a message you hear a lot, group 2. But that's what I'm seeing here. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. If you'd like to book a personal reading, please let me know. Go ahead and comment what resonated with you. I'd like to know in the box below. And give this a thumbs up and share. And I'll see you later. Take care, Group 2. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Bye-bye. All right, Group 3, this is your set of cards. First, I have my Angel Oracle deck with the 3 of Fire and the Star card. Second set of cards, I have Creation and Miracle. Third set of cards, I have 2 of Cups and 8 of Pentacles. And then lastly, I have the Hermit, the 4 of Wands, and the Knight of Pentacles. So Group 3, you have a very ancient spirit assisting you on your destiny, on your path. Some of you guys are a light, a very strong light. You have this fire about you. Some of you may be fire signs, but some of you have this fire about you, this passion to heal. Very much a healing energy I'm picking up here. You have a very ancient spirit, very native roots is something that I'm picking up. Some of you might be channeling a Native American. Some of you might have, African tribal roots, Native American tribal roots. Ancient magic, guys. I'm picking up ancient energy work, paganism. There's so many different types. But some of you feel very strong connections to these tribal roots, and you have a very, very old guide. I'm talking old energy, whose spirit has kind of come out of this slumber, let's say, to put it in the best word, a slumber, to make a contract with you. Because you, my friend in Group 3, have a very, very beautiful gift. The gift of healing, the gift of compassion and connection. You heal others through your deep compassion. And I feel like some of you have a very strong path in shamanism, or like being a witch doctor, or a medicine man or medicine woman. Some of you have not found this path yet, but granted, you don't just wake up one day and decide, oh, I'm going to be a shaman. It's a path that truly finds you. And some of you are still very young is something that I'm sensing. And this path is going to take a little bit of time to find you, but some of you are most definitely healers. And you're very much called to shamanism and energy work, energy healing. You may study Reiki. But have patience at this time, Group 3. I'm also hearing for some of you, you have a very beautiful goal that you're going to achieve. It's going to take time. It's going to take hard work and effort and persistence to achieve. But once you get to that goal, you're going to do miracles, Group 3. Miracles. That's why you needed the assistance of this ancient guide. Because it's very connected to you in some sort of way. You're also a very old soul is something that I'm picking up, Group 3, and this spirit is very connected to you. So when it sensed that you were incarnating, it was like, oh, I'm going to go help them. I'm going to refine them to be the best version of their healing selves so that they can heal the world. Because this is a big thing that you're going to be doing here, Group 3. Some of you are really destined to do big things. It's like a team effort. You and this guide, you work very closely together. Some of you already know this guide. You communicate with them. You don't really need me to tell you this. This is just like reassurance for you. Some of you guys are very tied to this guide. Like I said, this is something that awoke this ancient spirit to come and assist you on this path, right? On this healing path. And it came and made an offer to you to assist you in your miracle work. I'm telling you guys, some of you are very, very powerful healers. I think some of you even, you surprise yourself with how good your abilities are. Some of you are dealing with like a shapeshifter energy. So this particular guide may come to you in the form of a Native American. Some of them, sometimes it may come to you in the form of a light, just like a ball of light or a flash of light. Or sometimes it comes to you in the form of smoke, like a cloud of smoke. It's like a shapeshifter energy. Maybe even a dragon for some of you. Very powerful energy as well. I'm hearing it takes work. It takes work. Some of you guys need to have patience with yourself and refining your abilities, because it does take work, it does take practice, it takes patience and compassion for yourself. Some of you are still very much in the refining mode of your abilities, of your healing abilities in particular. I'm also, on the right path. You're on the right path. Some of you guys don't really have an end goal in mind, an end destination. Some of you guys need to start thinking a little more big picture, something that your guide wants you to know. You're very much focused on the baby steps, which is totally okay. I am 100% all for living in the moment, embracing the moment, but without that big picture in mind, you can't truly embrace the moments without knowing where you're going. You know what I mean? I mean, your soul ultimately knows. Tap into that inner knowing. Tap into that inner knowing. Your soul knows the big picture, group 3. Tap into that inner knowing. Because some of you are very connected to that inner knowing. And then you will know where you're going. And then you can fine-tune your moments, your baby steps, to take you on this path to get to that goal, right? Because I do feel like some of you are very much a little too wrapped up in the moment. And it's good to be balanced. It is good to establish a sense of balance. But I'm hearing ancient contract, guys. This is very old. This connection with you and this spirit guide is very, very old. It's as old as some of the stars. I'm telling you guys, this is very old. You may feel that you have connected with this guide in another star system. Like some of you guys are star seeds, right? And some of you guys have channeled a fellow, wherever you're from, you've channeled a being from that star constellation where you're from to come assist you on this dimensional plane on planet Earth. And I'll make a video on star seeds very soon. I think that's going to be my next vlog, is star seeds. Personally, I am a Syrian star seed, which is interesting because the little triangle pops up right here. I see this triangle everywhere. I even have it on my arm. I don't know if you can see. 1, 2, 3. You might not be able to see. I see this triangle everywhere. Everywhere, everywhere. I see the word Sirius everywhere. You'll know. You'll know where you're from. The universe will let you know. You won't have to question it at all. But I do feel like this energy of you and this guide is very ancient. You could have been married. I picked that up in one of the other groups too. You could have been married to this person in a past life, right? Or you could have made other contracts with this person. So you could have been their guide in one life. They could have been yours, in another life. But I feel like this contract, this connection with this particular energy is very, very old. And this guide knows exactly how to refine you. I feel like you don't even really need to hear many messages, group 3, because you're so connected to this guide that you can hear them very clearly. You can hear them very, very loud and clear. You don't have to question what they're trying to tell you. Very wise. Some of you are very wise. Some of you are in relationships with somebody and you're the wiser of the two in your relationship. Some of you have turned your back on a relationship, like somebody here offered you marriage in order to focus on your spiritual path. That's a strong move, group 3. Very strong of you. I do sense that some of you deep down know this person will come back around once you have achieved whatever goal it is that you're trying to achieve, or once you have reached a certain point of enlightenment or spiritual awakening, or reached a certain point in your abilities, this person will come back around. Because some of you here I feel like some of you are very lonely, right? Because some of you did walk away from a relationship in order to attain spiritual enlightenment because you felt like maybe this person was too, like, holding you back, is something that I'm sensing. And this person will come back around. They will. Please pardon, the ruckus outside. I do live on a very, very heavily populated, I live in a heavily populated area, so lots of traffic. But I do feel like some of you guys have refined yourselves, or you are refining yourself. And as soon as you do, boom, this person will find you. Because I feel like some of you have been in a very kind of sad and lonely headspace since you've walked away from this, but you know it's the right thing. But I think your guide wants me to send you comfort by letting you know that, yes, this person is going to come back around. Just be patient. Have patience and hope. But that's what I'm seeing here, group 3. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. All of my information is going to be in the description box. You can email me. Try not to ask questions in the comments because I don't really like answering questions, especially personal questions in the comments. So if you do have a question, go ahead and email me or DM me on my Instagram. Please let me know how this resonated. If you feel it's too personal to comment, let me know in my email. I really do love feedback, so let me know in the comments, let me know in my email. But that is all I see here. Thank you so much, and have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your journey and your day, group 3. Bye-bye.